We'll have this ready to go shortly. We're just checking the audio balance right now to make sure everything's good to go before we do the countdown. Glud, could you please say something for me?
Something. So, I hope this is fine, volume-wise. I hope the game is not too loud and not too silent. I hope I'm not too loud and not too silent. Something, PogChamp!
Okay, everything seems to be in order, so whenever you're ready, we can do your countdown.
Alright. So... 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! So, welcome everybody. This is I Wanna Be the Hanamogeta, made by who else but Hanamogeta. This is a pretty short, light-hearted adventure game with lots of trolls, like the one I just died to. This game, for the most part, is pretty much divided into two big halves. The first half is structured like your traditional classic adventure fan game with lots and lots of trolls, with the second half being quite different from the first. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So for now, we're just gonna be going through this overworld. Our goal for this half of the game is to collect cartridges. There's a total of 6 cartridges spread across this overworld that we have to collect. Yeah, doesn't really get much more complicated than that. Dang. So the death that's run won't happen, sadly. Come on, there we go. So yeah, this game has lots and lots of triggers. Lots of things Hanamogeta is known for in his games. Also lots and lots of cute graphics. Come on, let's get this trigger, please. There we go. Gonna kill that fast slime because it can cause us problems later. And one last apple troll to finish us off this first stage. So this game has 4 bosses in total. This is the first one, and it's normally pretty easy. However, bad RNG can screw us over. That's a very wide leap. So his jump arc is random. Every time you shoot him, he spawns a small slime. Gotta spam him down. Nice. Killing him there is good, because all the slimes he spawns are on the left side, so we can quickly grab the item and escape. So that was stage 1. Now we're on to stage 2. This is a cargo bay. If you've ever wondered where all the spikes and fruit come from that fangames use, they're apparently stored here. All the fangame knowledge and all the knowledge needed for the fangame lore. This game is indeed canon to the fangame extended universe. This stage is pretty freaking short though. We're already on the second to last screen. There's not much to this stage, unfortunately. It looks really nice though. Like, he did a really good job making these container graphics. How did I dodge that? How did I dodge that? Okay. With that scare past us, this is the third stage, underwater. And I want to point out immediately that one of the cutest details in this game, that the kid actually wears scuba gear if you go underwater. It's a really cute detail, and I freaking love it. This stage though, for the most part, is not very interesting. It has one gimmick, and that are these air currents that are on those pipes. Nothing really special there. They push you, / suck you in, depending on the current. Yeah. No, he wouldn't be breathing underwater, Patatalk. Like I said, this game is canon to the lore. Every other fan game where the kid can just breathe underwater is wrong. Nice. That trigger can get rough if you get bad RNG. So this stage is probably the second longest. Here we gotta shoot that slime while going upwards. So yeah, this stage is probably the second longest, but we're already closing in on the end of this. It's kind of wrong. It was kind of wrong for me to call this game being divided into 2 halves. We're gonna clear the first half like 10 minutes in at most, hopefully. And this is the boss of the underwater area. A UFO. Now this is not a traditional boss fight, this is actually a race. We have to outspeed this guy. There's gonna be a point in this race where we're actually both gonna be forced to stop and wait, which kind of takes all the tension out of this race. I mean, to be fair, I'm crushing him right now, but yeah, there's the blocks there. We gotta wait for this UFO to come here and destroy them for us. Now, since he made us wait, I'm gonna be a bit of a dick and shoot him. Shooting him slows him down. Yeah, I'm not a fair... And that's karma. I'm not gonna do that this time. I'm not gonna shoot him. I'm gonna restore my karma and hopefully not die. Yeah, it is legal cheating. I got punished for it though, so I'm not gonna do it again. Gonna show that we can beat this race without resorting to legal cheating. Don't choke the gate. We didn't choke the gate. Alright, nice. That's the underwater stage. Done with. That's the last we'll see of Kid wearing scuba gear, unfortunately. And in this small little cave, there's just a random cartridge. Free for the taking. So now we're back inside the ship that we started the game in, and this time we're gonna go to the left. Where the sixth and final cartridge is. So again, pretty straightforward. My Go Bananas download is ready. Nice! I was waiting for that. Kind of an unfortunate time for that to pop up. Yeah, kind of a really unfortunate time for that to pop up. Come on, game, please. I actually made that blind. I don't even want to continue that joke anymore because I'm surprised that I made that blind. So, those pop-ups right there advertise the game I Wanna Go Bananas, which is another game by Hanamogeta, in a very similar style to this game's first half. It's a really fun game as well, definitely recommended. And the best part about those trolls is that clicking on them actually links you to a download page for Go Bananas, which is insane. Like it's so much effort for such a minute troll. So now we're in the caves. This is the final overworld area. The caves introduces two new things. First are these bats. They are alerted when you get in their vicinity, try to chase you down. Pretty easy to maneuver around or just kill. And the second thing is the darkness. The very not threatening darkness. Yeah. Yeah, you can also close it. The X's do work. So you can click on the top right corner of all of those windows and close them. Yeah, some saves, I should have gone for that cycle. Some saves say was, this game is on medium any %. There's 3 difficulties of this game in total. Easy, medium, and hard. Hard is, I guess, the intended difficulty. It's much harder. For example, not only is the platforming buffed, enemies are buffed, enemies and bosses are buffed too. For example, every slime has a shield in front of it. So you can only shoot them from behind, which makes the Slime King boss at the beginning of the game an absolute pain. Because you have to either wait very long, or get lucky, and it's terrible. But hard mode also has some special content that gets you the true ending of the game, where you actually become the Hanamogeta. Spoiler alert, we're not gonna become the Hanamogeta in this run. And then there's easy mode, which, if we have the time, I want to show that off actually, because it's very short. It would only take a minute. This is the Stone Snake, the third boss. Has a good quick kill if we can... Nice, we got it, good. And that was the Stone Snake. Pretty easy boss. And that's the final cartridge. So now we're done in the overworld, so now we get to head into this Famicom and enter the second half of the game, where we actually get to play all these cartridges, starting with the tutorial. Everybody's favorite. Sadly, we can't skip the tutorial, so yeah, we get to learn everything about fangames and traps. The only new thing the tutorial actually teaches us is that there's treasure at the end of every Cartridge game. And we're gonna have to collect all that treasure. So now, this is Shifter. What am I doing? Shifter, pretty simple puzzle concept. You can move around these tiles to rearrange the room, and our goal always is to power on this warp to get to the next area. All of these Cartridge games, except for the tutorial of course, is based on an actual game. The only one I know of for sure, we'll get to later, but I know that all of them are based off of an actual game. So yeah, pretty fun to figure these out blind, honestly. Of course, I know them already by heart, because I've been speedrunning this. This is a really cool idea. We shoot, so the bullet is stuck there, and when we switch it around, the bullet continues and we can hit the switch from the other side. That is a really cool idea. I like that a lot. And this is the final room of this stage already. You can tell it's the final room because it's bigger than the rest. So one other thing, these spikes right there, right here, they kill you if you go over them. So yeah, you gotta be careful. So this area, gonna push this box over here. Gonna shift all of this around. Whoops. There we go. Drop down to the exit, and now rearrange everything. And we are done with Shifter. On hard mode there's actually another puzzle room at the end of this that we don't get to see on medium. It's pretty hard. It took a while to figure out when I first did this. So this is Swapper. Pressing X gives us this line, and we can create clones along it by pressing Shift. These clones mimic our every move, and we have to use them to traverse these platforms. Now, right there, I shifted from one clone to the next, which is why this... or swapped. Yeah, swapped to a clone, which is why this area is called Swapper. By pressing Y, we can shoot this blue line that's gonna allow us to control the clone that we just created. Pretty interesting. And now also the lights get introduced. The blue light means that we can't create a clone inside of it, and the red light blocks the blue swapper rays, so we can't swap to a clone that we've created. So now with all these, actually there's also purple, which is red and blue combined, as the game beautifully explains there on that sign. And with all these gimmicks, or with all these rules, this is puzzle area pretty much. Here we can do a little something special. Gonna put this all the way in the corner. Gonna plant one right on this button. We'll jump to get enough time and then go over. Yeah, this is based on the Swapper, actually. In the credits, it actually lists all the games that these areas are based on. So you might get to see them, depending if I want to play the credits or not. This is another pretty simple puzzle. If you're wondering why I switched to a second clone there at the end, these areas still have traps in them every now and then. So there would have actually been a spike trap. There would have actually been a spike that appeared there that blocked your entrance if you didn't have another clone available. So yeah, sometimes the game pulls out nasty tricks like that. I don't like this clone. I'm gonna make a second one there. I'm gonna switch to upside down. This puzzle is pretty complicated because you have to somehow figure out how to get a clone, how to get both an upside down and a right side up clone on this top side. This area, I'm gonna call this a little bit of a skip. I'm not sure if this is I don't think this is the intended way, but we can create a clone right at this edge and swap to it, so we can land on this platform and easily solve the puzzle. I don't think that's intended, but if anything, it's a small oversight, so nothing major. And right here, pretty simple. Again, just shoot this clone and then use the time we have to enter the exit. And that was Swapper. So not all of these areas are puzzle areas. This is Ink, based off of Ink. I actually know this one. This is more platforming, pretty standard platforming. The gimmick for this game is, the gimmick for this stage is that every room is completely, what do you say? Completely invisible to you. And by shooting ink everywhere, you get to see where the blocks are, and where you have to go. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory gimmick. It's really fun. It's really cool to watch, honestly, because I really like this visually. It's honestly though my least favorite stage gameplay-wise because of one dumb mechanic that involves shooting ink, and that is that the ink shots are randomized. The arches for the ink shots are completely randomized, and sometimes if you're forced to shoot enemies, you can just completely miss your target without it being your own fault. And that's sad. That's kind of dumb, honestly. And my least favorite screen, because of it, is this one. So, climbing up here is a pain. Every single platform has a slime on it. Like, look at that. That slime should have died like 5 times, but thanks to bad RNG, it lived. It's kind of a shame. That too! Okay. Thankfully we salvaged it. Gonna play it a little bit more careful. Alright. The original ink is in Game Maker too. That's really cool. So this is a little bit... This is sort of an auto-scroller, even though you can rush ahead a bit. Still have to wait for the platform at the end. Now, on hard mode, this stage is completely redone. There's tons of extra rooms, and tons of rooms where I actually fight brand new enemies that aren't in the normal version. So, one more reason why hard mode adds a ton more extra content to the game. But it's really hard. This is the final room of the game. It's terrible first time through. I'm blind in general, because this is a huge maze with small corridors with tons and tons of spike traps that you can't see coming even if you shoot ahead, because the ink won't show it to you because they're like in pits that you can't reach. It's really dumb, like that. It's really, really dumb. This is the worst screen of ink. Even though I've complained about the enemies, this is easily the worst screen of ink if you do a first playthrough. Almost ran into those spikes. Are you a squid or are you a kid? You know, I was thinking of making a Splatoon reference, but nah. That's kind of too obvious, isn't it? And that was the final room of ink. Thank God we're out of there. Moving on to Canvas. So this is based off of, I think, Kirby and the Canvas Curse, I think is what the game is called. We use the mouse to create these lines that act as objects to block things. We can walk on them, all kinds of things. If you're wondering why I'm not shooting saves as I'm entering the new rooms, that's because I have to change my controls, the way I control the kid here. Because I use my right hand, which I normally just use to control the kid's movement, to control the mouse, and the left hand has to do the entire. I'm glad I saved. Good thing. So I use my right hand to control the mouse, and I use the left hand to control the kid by pressing the right shift and the arrow keys at the same time. Thankfully, the platforming isn't super demanding, so I'm able to do this just fine. Gonna hit saves here and there though, just for safety. We saw how helpful we saw how needed that was on 2 screens prior. Didn't Go Bananas have an area like this as well? I don't think so. Go Bananas is more platforming based, not really puzzle based, like this game is. Maybe I'm wrong though, but I don't think Go Bananas has an area like this. Oh, you're talking about a completely different area then? That's not how you do it. Oh yeah, that area. I remember now. Yeah, it is in Go Bananas. You're right, I forgot. So one more thing about this stage. Those glass panels right there, you've probably seen it already. They block your... I guess you could say ink. You can't draw on them, pretty much, so you can't create paths there. Here we have to make sure to push this box all the way to the corner so that it falls through. Why do we need the box? Because this. This game is nice with its trolls. Definitely. So here we have 2 boxes, and you might think to yourself, wait, 2 boxes? Well, we only need 1? Well, the game knows that too. That's why this box is not that nice. So yeah, you have to solve this puzzle. Only using this box, it's not super difficult. The most difficult part is really just keeping that wall up long enough. And create a path downwards and over. And this is the final screen of ink. 8 jumps. Every fan gamer's worst nightmare. This is a pretty straightforward screen though. We're actually gonna... ah dang, I missed this cycle. I'm gonna use this slime here to help us out a bit by pressing that button at the end. So, block this off because we need this box, because surprise! Surprise trigger. And now we're already at the final minigame, Galaxy. This is the, no pun intended, most expansive game out of the 6. As in it's the biggest, has the most screens. Galaxy is usually the screens in Galaxy, where each area is usually one of 2 things. It's either a collectathon where you have to collect the star pieces that are scattered about several different planets, or it's straightforward platforming. Galaxy, I don't know where this is from. I don't know the original, if there is an original to Galaxy. There probably is, but I don't know what it is or where it's from. Also, yeah, very chill music. Also, hi Earth! Good seeing you. And goodbye Earth. Was fun while it lasted. Feels bad, man. Nice. Sometimes you miss that shot and it feels terrible when you do. Super Mario Galaxy? Yeah, probably Super Mario Galaxy actually. I just more so thought of a 2D game rather than a 3D game, so I never thought of Super Mario Galaxy. It might be true. So this is one of the platforming screens. This is pretty straightforward, just platforming. However, can't just have platforming. Has to have trolls in it every once in a while. Yeah, right, the star pieces are from Galaxy 2. How did I not notice that? I guess I really didn't have a 3D game on my mind when I thought of comparisons for this stage. So here, I reset to have a faster cycle. That way we can do this planet a bit faster. That for some reason expands and contracts, yet its orbit stays the exact same constantly. Good. This is a collectathon screen. If we're fast enough, nice, we can grab that star piece before the saw gets it. That's a black hole there. You do not want to enter the black hole. It does suck you in, so stay out of its orbit. It's vital. So for this one, we have to get to the other side of the planet as well, so we're gonna make use of that little asteroid. Grab this star piece. And now cross the galaxy. Cross space to this planet. Just changes its density. Yeah, that's a plausible explanation, but still. What planet do you know that changes its density constantly as it expands and contracts? This is a fun one. Why? Because you can play... Come on. Yes, you can bounce around randomly. It's fun, just watching the kid go in random directions. If you actually want to proceed though to the next area, what you gotta do is aim a little bit to the left. That was a skill shot if I've ever seen one. That was not planned, you're not meant to hit any asteroids, so that was pure freaking luck. But it paid off, so... yeah, good. Here we have a mean satellite. You try to pass it, it shoots its laser at you, so you have to destroy it. And even after it's destroyed, it tries to kill you by launching its debris at you. It's kinda sad. And continuing the sadness, this planet here, I don't know why, I don't know what it did, it just gets bullied. All these meteorites are crushing in on it for no reason at all. I don't know what this planet did, it must have been bad, but yeah. Galactic bullying, feels bad, man. Also, yeah, that was... I don't know how I was meant to dodge that. I don't know how I was meant to dodge that. Now we're subject to more bullying. Hopefully this time with less bad RNG. Yeah, the star pieces spawn pretty much at random. I don't know if it's set intervals or if it's like how many meteorites have to hit before a star piece spawns, but yeah, that almost sniped me, thank you. But once you collect the 5th one, no new meteors spawn, so you just have to survive the ones that already are there. And we're off. Nice. Here we're gonna save and reset for the cycle on this next planet. Once again a scrolling segment. Here we have a troll and we can... Nice. That was good. So this is the second to last room of Galaxy. Obviously a reference to Donkey Kong Country with its cannons. I used to love those games. And I still do. The new Donkey Kong Country games are sick. But anyways, we have to time our shots carefully. Again, reset for timing purposes. I don't know how I died and didn't touch the cannon. Just okay. Alright, nice. That screen is sometimes tricky because timing it is not super easy. And this is the final screen. Don't blink because it can end fast, because this screen is actually like one of the... How did that happen? Aww, well this screen is no longer one of the easiest and one of the fastest. Oh, that was close. So yeah, normally you're meant to shoot off to the right there, but we can just say no, thread the needle between those two saws, and call it a day. And here we have the final gem. So, what do all these gems unlock, you may ask? Well, a super secret game called Not Another Black Spike Needle Game 2. Obviously this is an original fan game, definitely not copied from another fan game. So, yeah. So, when people play this game for the first time, they're probably gonna look at this and think, wow, what a huge difficulty spikes, because all these jumps are actually pretty freaking precise and not easy at all. So they might struggle a lot with this, and then maybe even give up. But there is one... I'm gonna try and go as far as possible with this, because some jumps actually are really precise. But yeah, there's one thing that you're probably gonna try if you get desperate enough. And then you're probably gonna laugh your ass off that you didn't try it sooner. And that you actually imagine that the game would do something like this. I am nailing this. Damn. Needle God right here. So I'm just gonna shoot this right away. So yeah, all these spikes are shootable. That's the joke. So if you get frustrated by this, swag double diamond. Aw, no. One more try. Swag double diamond. Okay, no. So yeah, you can shoot all these spikes. At least we did the diamond. That's fine. So yeah, I've seen quite a number of players that play this blind and do all that platforming normally, and then they reach that screen with the huge gate, or the huge, like, I don't know, that's like 20 diamonds in a row, and then they figure out that, hey, you can shoot the spikes. Oh, maybe you should have done that sooner. So this is the final boss, the titular Hanamogeta. I am dead. I have to make this. Whew, okay. Divine save. Nope. Damn it. I jumped off too soon. So yeah, this is Hanamogeta, the final boss of the game. One cool thing to mention about this boss is that you saw spikes appear when the boss is below half health. The trigger for that, or rather, the side on which the spikes appear, is actually not randomized. It's actually dictated by the side you did more damage on. So if you think you did enough damage, you can just switch sides prematurely. Okay, that attack is kind of hard. Please stop doing this attack. Okay, it's coming from the bottom. And that's GG. So time is coming up shortly. Time is coming up shortly right now. Time.
Thanks, Glued. You caught me with my mouth full of sandwich.
That was my plan all along.
Good run.
Thanks.
Good stuff, man.
What was my time?
30:24.
Ah, that's good. Below estimate is good.
Mm-hmm.
So can I spend like one more minute showing off easy mode? Because it's kind of funny.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Sure, alright.
But don't take longer because I do need to keep going on, so don't take forever.
Alright, so I'm skipping the credits. So I'm gonna show off easy mode here. So this is easy mode. As you can tell, completely different from normal mode. We have this spike here. So if you have struggled with this jump, I recommend grabbing this wall here and carefully, very carefully, inch your way close to the spike so that you're as close as possible, and then just jump and press right. And that should clear you through it. And after you've done that, congratulations. You've cleared easy mode. You deserve all the applause that you can get here. Congratulations. So yeah, that was Hanamogeta. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you continue to enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Alright, that about wraps it up. Thanks for showing up, Glued. It was a good time.
No problem. Thanks.